What is up, guys? So it is about 1 o'clock. Um, and yeah, we're here. We did it. We hit 100 subs. So we are going to be reading Dogsred in 24 hours. So I figured I would start off by reading with you guys and just kind of talking. So I've never actually read a sports manga before, so this will be my first one. I have been getting more like intrigued by hockey in general. So I really hope that I'm really even more excited, and obviously, yeah, I am excited to read my first sports manga. This is a newer manga. There's 4 volumes out. Volume 5 comes out in a couple of weeks. So if I had to guess, I'll be picking that up. But this one was really hard to find. Like, no stores around me had volume 4. They all had like 1, 2, and 3. So it was honestly really hard, and I had to order it, and it took about a week to come in, as you guys know, because I was thinking about doing this video last weekend when we actually hit 100 subs. But I didn't have volume 4 until Saturday night or Monday. Monday, I think. I'm pretty sure is when it came in. I think it came in Monday night. Yeah, I really like the art style in this manga. That's one of the things that sticks out to me. I know he becomes a hockey player. One thing that I'm realizing is that, like, this main character is actually pretty young. I thought that this was, like, about, like, older guys. I don't really know anything about this manga other than that it's about hockey. I read the back, like, little passage here. But yeah, guys, so just come along, read with me for first couple of pages. I don't know if I'll do another update tonight, obviously I'll do another update tonight. I don't know what, like, the next update's gonna be once I stop this, like, segment, because obviously I'm not gonna read the entire first volume with you guys. Okay, so right now he is still a figure skater. I knew that he was a figure skater and then becomes a hockey player. I just don't know what the backstory to this all is. I think in probably a couple more pages, I'm going to leave this off. And just, like, really focus on reading, because I am still trying to talk to you guys while I read through this, because this is a really good manga, but I also want to make sure that you guys are getting what you came here for, because obviously we're reading this in 24 hours. So yeah, like I said, it's about 1 o'clock now. I've got 4 volumes to finish through. I think right about here is where I'm going to leave it off in the first update. We got through the first couple of pages. So far, it's been pretty good. I mean, obviously, I don't really know anything about it because I'm only in the first couple of pages. But, I mean, yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I'm really excited to see where it goes. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you in the next update. Peace out. What is up, guys? So we're back. I did just finish volume 1. It was such a good volume. I do know that this volume is, like, substantially longer than the rest of the ones that I'm going to be reading. But this volume was really good. I'll get into more of that at the end, just because I want to keep reading, because we are in a little bit of a time crunch, because I had school today, and then I had some stuff to do after school. So I did get a little bit of a later start. Right now, it was about 1 o'clock when I started this. I think right now it's like 2:15. So it took me a while. This is a longer volume because it's the first volume. So I'm sure my reading speed will pick up a little bit more. But yeah, the first volume was really good, and I'm excited to talk about this one on the end. But now that we're done with that one, I'm going to be jumping in straight into volume 2 because I do have a little bit of stuff to get done. Got some homework, and I've got some other stuff that I have to finish up. So yeah, I'm going to try to get through hopefully all of volume 2 so that way I'm halfway done before I have stuff to go do. I don't have work tonight, which is nice, but I do unfortunately need to get these volumes done. So, well, not unfortunately. I am really excited and I'm loving this series and really enjoying it. And honestly, I'm super excited to read the rest of it and see where it goes. But I just kind of want to get through these volumes because I think it'll start to pick up in this volume, because right now we're still very much in, like, the beginning stuff and it did the background work. So I'm really excited to see where this story goes, and so far I am loving it. I would highly recommend this series. But yeah, guys, I'm going to get to read, and I'll see you in the next update. What's up, guys? Quick little update, because I gotta go get some stuff done. I did just finish volume 2. Volume 2 was really, really good, so this volume kind of picks up where the last one ends off. I'm not going to dive too much into it, but basically, this volume was kind of like it shows our main character becoming more interested in the sport of hockey now that he's no longer a figure skater. And he ends up going out and he's like trying out for this. Well, not really trying out. They all just kind of practice together, and then the roster gets cut, and it's the best 30 players. But yeah, he joins this, and he is super against the way the coach does it, and I'll touch more on this later. But yeah, so this volume kind of featured him, like, practicing or, like, training on land before they actually get on the, get on the ice and stuff and keep going. But now that volume's done, we're on to volume 3. Volume 3 and 4 are the shortest of the two. They're about 170 pages, I think. But I really just wanted to take a minute to focus on this manga cover. And I know that I've talked about this a lot, but I adore this manga cover. Anyways, guys, I've got a little bit of stuff to do, and then I'm going to come back and start reading this. So right now it is about 2 o'clock, so I was able to knock that second one out in about 45 minutes, which is a pretty good pace. Yeah, I'm gonna get my stuff done, and I'll see you guys in the next one. What's up, guys? I'm back. It's now about, I'd say probably close to 7. I think it's like 6:48. I've still got 2 volumes to read because I had to do stuff. It took a little bit longer than I thought. I'm gonna try to knock out this third one, and then I might play some video games for a little bit. Or honestly, I might take a nap because I'm really tired, and I don't want to not finish this challenge. In the last update, I left off telling you about the second volume, so I figure we'll jump right into reading this one together, since I know we've only read together, like, once so far. So right now, they're in, like, the middle of, like, their land training still. We still haven't hit the ice, and that's kind of, like, I'm pretty sure they'll finish the land training in, like, this arc. So they're to the second point of land training. There's 3 points in their training regimen. There's 2 land segments and then ice, I'm pretty sure. So these guys are really tired because they still haven't gotten like any water, which I'll like talk a little bit more about in the final update. But yeah, guys, I'm really tired, so I'm thinking it's actually going to be more of a nap instead of video games after this. Yeah, again, I really like this art style, and so far I am loving this sports manga. And honestly, I can't wait for Volume 5 to come out. This is definitely going to be a series that I continue to pick up, and one that I'm honestly really happy that I got to add into my collection. Yeah, again, I don't even really know why this stuck out to me. I just kind of thought that it looked cool. I didn't know anything about it when I got it, besides for that he was like an ex figure skater, which I learned from reading the back panel, like the first time it stuck out to me. I don't know if maybe it's because we were watching the Olympics and I was watching a lot of hockey when those were on. I know that they're wrapped up now, but so I don't know if that's why, like, it just appealed to me more because I was watching a lot of hockey. And like I said, I've been getting into hockey more lately, wanting to check it out. I think I might watch a couple of NHL games. I've been watching a lot of clips of them on YouTube and stuff, but I don't know, I really enjoyed this one, and I think that the premise is interesting, especially because, like, he's not like your average hockey player, because he has all of the moves from when he was a figure skater, and so he uses those a lot. So his he's like our main character, his style of hockey is unique. And just the way he plays is different. We haven't seen like too much of it. The one time that we really did see it, I'll talk about more in our like recap at the end once we're done reading the 4 volumes. Yes, they're currently trying to distract them, which is why that's happening. I don't know if you guys have been reading along with me, but I'm gonna stop there because the book gets interesting. But yeah, guys, so I'll see you in the next update. We've still got this volume to finish, which we just started, and then volume 4 to finish, and then I'll probably do the recap tonight. It depends on how long my nap takes. I'm hoping to only sleep for about an hour once I get this done. So yeah, I'm hoping to start back up again around 9-ish after I take my nap and stuff and finish this volume. But yeah, this volume's really good. I really like this character. He's the older Genma brother. His younger brother's kind of like, not the antagonist, but like, I can't think of the word. Like, I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't know how to say it. But he works against Rao, and they're very different people. A lot kind of like, and this isn't the best comparison, but kind of like Sasuke and Naruto almost. And I think like Sasuke and Naruto, they'll end up being really close, like they were in like Boruto and stuff. But yeah, right now they're kind of like early Sasuke and Naruto. And so yeah, I'm gonna finish this volume and then take a nap, guys. I'll see you guys in the next update. What's up, guys? So I slept for way longer than I should have. It is now 10:45. I incredibly overslept. And right now, I was really tempted to make this update in my bed. But if I stayed in there, I probably wouldn't be able to finish this volume. We're on volume 4. I've got one more volume. I gotta grind it out. I've got an hour and 15 minutes, and I think we can do it. I'm not going to be talking too much because I really just want to focus down and read. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys in the recap. Well, you guys will find out if we did or not, because I'm pretty tired. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. What's up, guys? We're back at the desk. If you guys couldn't tell, this desk is like my gaming desk. Sorry, my phone is not wanting to stay up to film this. This desk is more of my gaming desk, and so this is where I spend a lot of my time. I know that this isn't like the usual scene for my manga. I usually do it at my other desk, which I do for homework, because I like to kind of create that boundary, and it helps me focus more. Sorry, kind of a side tangent. But I know that you guys, I don't know if you guys knew that we were going to get this done, but we did. Finished volume 4 last night at about 11:58, and then immediately went to bed. So yeah. We did end up reading them all in 24 hours. It's a little bit closer to 11 hours, but I got a late start. And it's not fair for me to count the next day towards your guys' challenge. So we did it in 24 hours, and I'm happy, and I loved this series. So let's go over it. First up, we got Volume 1. Volume 1 starts off with us viewing this figure skater named Rao. He's a young prodigy. He's in his final year of middle school. He's about to go to high school. This is his final performance, and his mom just died. His mom was his inspiration for a lot of these, and she drafted all the music and came up with, like, the things he was gonna do in his performance, like the choreography and stuff. She came up with it all. So they got into a bad car accident, and she died, and he's obviously got a bruise on his face. So he takes the top score that he needed and wins first place, and so he's in his interview. He finds out his score. You can see there's a lot of pent-up energy, and then he crashes out and throws a chair. And then after he throws the chair, he immediately starts taking his skate to their, like, a board with all, like, the sponsors on it. So the people who sponsor the competition. So after he does this, Rao gets banned from being, like, a figure skater, like, completely. Like, he's done. This is over. He just ruined his career. So he moves back home with his sister because his mom is dead, into a town with his grandpa. And once he's back in this town, he goes and finds a local pond and starts to skate at it. Well, there's the Genma brothers, and he goes over near this. It's a hockey goal, and all the kids are like, "Don't do that, little Genma," because he's like he's the younger brother. He's gonna kick your butt. And the reason that little Genma hates people going over there so much is because every night he goes out and sprinkles water down to make sure that there's fresh ice, because his brother's a goaltender in high school, and he plays on, like, one of the most prestigious high school teams in all of Japan. Oinokoma, I think is how you say it. I don't know how you say it. It's something like that. But yeah, anyways, he goes out and he plays, and he's like their goaltender, and so that's why little Genma hates anyone going near it, because, like, he doesn't want, that's like their ritual. Before every big game, little Genma goes out and shoots on his brother, and, like, that's, like, the ritual they've had since they were kids. So, like, that's kind of, like, the thing they do, and he doesn't want this to ruin how his brother plays, because his brother, like, plays for, Oinokami, because his brother plays for such a prestigious school. And so they get into a fight, and Rao ends up knocking this goal into the water. Well, he's trying to make this right. Big Genma comes in and stops them from fighting, but Rao still feels bad that he knocked their goal in. So he goes and tries to take one from, like, the local middle school that he's now attending. And the captain's like, "You can have it, but you have to play game for us, because for hockey, you need 12 people on your roster," and they were one short, and it was their final game of the season. And this middle school team sucked because everyone started transferring to a more prestigious one who they end up playing, and they're like, we just want to score one goal. And so Rao ends up going and playing the game so that way he can get the goal. And long story short, they scored one goal. So they still got their butts kicked, like 60-1, but they scored that goal. So that's kind of where Volume 1 leads us off. Volume 1 leads us off with, like, them scoring the goal and then him not wanting to play hockey anymore. So, like, everyone scores, and in, like, the last couple of pages, you, like, get this panel, and he goes, I don't know, I want to try to forget it, because he's a figure skater. This isn't in his blood, and he thinks that it's honestly barbaric. He holds himself on a very prestigious pedal, like, he's kind of full of himself a little bit. Not, like, bad. It didn't really bother me, but yeah, that's kind of how he feels. He doesn't understand the point of hockey. And then we get into Volume 2. Now that he's had this taste for it, it itches and itches and itches at him. And his grandpa played in the Olympics, so he's like, Grandpa, teach me to play. Because in the game, he was really good at, like, skating past everyone, but he couldn't handle the puck at all. So for months, I think it's months, honestly, they don't really say how long. He trains with his grandpa and then goes and watches, like, their big tournament where Oinakomai is playing. It's called, like, the National High School Championship, and they have won the last 19 years in a row, and they lose this tournament. So they've officially lost. They didn't win it for the 20th year in a row, and now they're all kind of like, what's next? So after they lose, like, there's, like, kind of like a mini time skip. This is when Rao's still continuing to play and, like, train, because he, like, that got him into it and, like, kind of made him understand why people like it. And so he goes, because he's not in middle school anymore, he's a first year in high school, he goes to kind of like their tryouts, like, anyone's allowed to go and, like, anyone's allowed to play for this team, but they're only allowed to roster 30 people, so, like, everyone else kind of gets cut. And we're not at that point yet, but, like, they start the land training, and he really disagrees with how this coach does it. Well, he's trying to craft the best team ever, so he pushes them really hard, and he doesn't let them drink water, and he tires them out, and only the winners get to drink, and no one else does. So, like, Rao continues to have these back and forths with the coach, just trashing on the way he does everything, and he's like, listen, we've done this for years, this is how we do it. And Rao still doesn't disagree, and that's kind of where Volume 2 ends off. Volume 3 picks back up once they get to the second training point. Also, one last thing about this Volume 2 is Rao sneaks off to this grandma's house to get water. Well, it's said that anyone who sneaks off becomes the captain of this team, because Genma did it, but he wasn't allowed to be a goaltender, so goaltenders aren't allowed to be captains, so he wasn't, and the kid the year before did it, and he's their current captain. So that's kind of the way that this story's going, so it's kind of hinting at Rao's going to be a big part of this in the future. But yeah, so Volume 3 starts off with the second portion of their on-land training, because it's 3 portions. There's 2 on land, and then there's, like, when they get to the ice. And so it just continues, and then it shows, like, they're no longer being pushed down by their teammates. Their teammates are jumping in and helping them. After this, they just keep running, and then they get to the ice. This is where we kind of start to see who's got the sauce, you know? Like, who's made of what, who can do what, and how good is everyone. Other than that, like, yeah, we get, like, this volume's just kind of training. That's kind of all these last 2 were, and then we start to see Rao wins over the coach and gets the water because he won. So that's kind of where this one ends, and Rao kind of realizes that he wants to play hockey now. Like, he wants to go to the Olympics. He was going to go to the Olympics for figure skating, and he obviously can't do that anymore. And the story kind of reveals that he doesn't want to figure skate because him and his sister were both really into it. His sister had so much more love for it, but he was naturally better. And it's a very expensive sport, which were revealed too. So his mom was like, okay, your sister's not allowed to do it anymore. Because Rao went up to her and she was like, you should only let one of us do it to save money. And he meant Rao would quit. And his mom was like, no, your sister's quitting. You have more talent. Talent gets you to the Olympics. I don't care how much she loves it. And so it was always his dream to take her to the Olympics. That's why he pushed himself so hard. And now that she's dead, he doesn't really see the point in continuing to go. And that's kind of the narrative that the beginning of the story follows. And I think that that's like a really deep narrative, and it's kind of like a hard idea to kind of grasp almost, but that's like the narrative that they try to show us, or kind of like for Rao's backstory and why he quit. But he still has this itch to skate, and hockey fixes that. So these first couple volumes, like I said, they're mostly training for volumes 2 and 3. And then we get into volume 4, which does show a little bit more training. But volume 4, like, some of this is filler. Like, we introduced to this girl who's, like, massive. It kind of starts there, and then, like, it's kind of a filler volume, and this is like a backstory volume for some of the other players, and we start to learn more like their personalities. And then at the end of volume 4, there's like a fight between guys from different high schools. The girl that we had introduced to comes back. And then volume 4 ends with the start of them playing a game. So we don't really get to see any of it. It ends with the face-off right there, and it immediately goes into a fight. So yeah, other than that, there wasn't like too crazy much that happened in volume 4. Volume 5 is going to be crazy because we start off with that game. But yeah, guys, I absolutely loved this series, and I'm so happy that we hit 100 subs, and I'm so happy that we were able to celebrate it like this. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support, and just thank you guys for everything that you've done for me on this channel. I hope that you guys liked this video. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one.